Aloha! Coming up is an interview and painting with internationally renowned marine life artist Wyland. He's here to tell us about what inspires him and how important science is to his art.
Hello, everybody. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to Coralpalooza Digital 2020 and happy World Oceans Day. We are so excited to have one of the most famous underwater artists in the world joining us today to help us celebrate. We have Wyland. Wyland, thank you so much for being here with us.
Happy to be here. Aloha.
Aloha.
Even though I'm in the Florida Keys, where you guys do a lot of great work here. So my place is right in Isle Morada. In fact, I'm looking at Florida Bay right now. Looks pretty good.
How wonderful. How wonderful. So, Wyland, most people will know you from your incredible murals, these huge pieces of art that have introduced millions of people around the world to the wonder of the underwater world. When did you start getting interested in the ocean? What was your first experience of the ocean?
Well, mine was Jacques Cousteau. Like my generation, Jacques Cousteau was iconic, and the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau. I used to watch that religiously every Sunday, and he really inspired me to not only be a diver, a Hall of Fame diver now, but an environmentalist, conservationist. But I wanted to be Jacques Cousteau, but I'm a pure artist, so I felt strongly we already had Jacques Cousteau. Maybe I could do something with my art, and I felt instinctively that art could play a very important role in bringing the message of conservation by showing people the beauty of this beautiful ocean, this water planet. I could inspire people, in a big way, especially with those monumental walls that I painted, the whaling walls. I did 101. I actually did one more last year with Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. Thank you, Eddie.
No way, that's so cool. Where is that one? Where is the 100?
That one's on the Edgewater Hotel. So if you're in Seattle, it's right on Elliott Bay. It's a very famous rock and roll hotel. And I actually had painted the mural there like 25 years ago. But, after about 10 years, somebody else bought the hotel, and they just literally painted the whole hotel and right over my mural. And I know the people of Seattle were really upset. So anyway, I was there for the inauguration of the cruise ship that I painted, Norwegian Bliss. And right next to the port of Seattle, where the ship was the hotel with a blank wall. And I've been kind of contemplating going back there and maybe redoing it, but I wanted to bring more science into it. So I wanted to paint the pot of whales that are basic to those waters. And then I knew Eddie Vedder lived close to there, so I invited him to come up and paint with me, and we painted the J pot. So I like to bring science into my art, and it's beautiful. I hope you guys will check it out. It's a whole pot of life-size orca whales swimming along Elliott Bay, the waters of the Pacific Northwest.
That's amazing. So that's really the goal of your work then, these murals, is to inspire people to communicate, facts, scientific facts about the ocean.
Yeah, well, not everybody's going to get a chance to swim with a whale. I've been very fortunate, but what I do when I'm diving, I'm painting those images that will reflect in my, painting sculptures and on the sides of these buildings, and the music I write and the books. For artists, man, there's nothing like being immersed in your subject, and diving gives me that opportunity to really see those whales, how they move. And for coral reefs, so proud to be part of this with you, that you're planting corals. I've actually done that with you guys. I actually went out there with Ken, and he honored me by allowing me to plant some coral reef here in the Florida Keys. Best honor I've ever had. And by the way, everyone watching, if you get a chance to support the Coral, Reef Foundation, Restoration Foundation, do it. because it's like planting a tree on steroids. So do it. Plant those corals. Help us in any way you can. And it's magical. I'll tell you what, I go back and visit that spot often, and my corals are doing pretty good.
Oh, that's amazing. Wyland, how
Yeah.
lovely. Thank you so much for that wonderful endorsement. We'd love to have you back. You know, we're out
Of
there doing it all
course.
the time. So anytime you feel so inspired to come back out with us, we would love to have you join us.
Yeah, let's do it. And then I'll invite some of my friends that dive and maybe some new divers. But the more people that can plant a tree and can plant a coral, we need all the people on earth to do that. If we did that, it would really make a difference. So if you're watching this and you get a chance to support your organization, like I have, you know, I've done some fundraisers for you, but it's not always about us. It's about the bigger picture, which is a healthy coral reef is critical to the health of the ocean. I mean, it's all connected. Those fish, it's habitat for fish. And when you see a dead coral reef, when you see a coral graveyard like I have, you really can't tell that you're tearing because you're in the ocean, but you are. I mean, it's so devastating to see that. You know, I've dove all over the world, obviously, Antarctica, the Arctic, and I dove Palau, where I saw this one reef 25 years ago, and then I went back with an artist friend of mine, John Petrie, and he was saying this is his favorite spot. So we went to it. It was miles of dead coral, just in a matter of like 10, 15 years, wiped out.
That's devastating. Absolutely devastating. So you've been doing this since the 70s, and you've seen these kinds of changes in the ocean then.
Indeed. I've been like Jamaica back in the day was phenomenal. And then again, you just seeing devastation. You know, the coral reefs are so sensitive to water temperature, pollution, all the things that we're doing. But I'm really positive about one thing. I share my art with a lot of kids. I painted physically with over 1 million kids. I count them now. 1,000,001, 1,000,002, 1,000,003. Whenever I did a whaling wall project, I always invited the kids from the community and the schools to come paint with me. And I planted those seeds in the hearts and minds of our youth. And that's the investment that we need to make. You know, if you want to protect the environment, you want to protect the coral reefs, you know, today, talk to us. But if you want to protect it for the future, we got to get these kids on board. And art really opens up their imagination and their creativity. So I'm always about protecting the environment. I'm always about protecting art education in America and around the world. But my God, you know, if we can't take care of our coral reefs, we can't take care of the health of the planet. It's all connected.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit then, was this the inspiration behind the Wyland Foundation?
Yeah, you know, I loved the Cousteau Society back then, and I decided that, you know, I would, you know, start a Wyland Foundation we're about 27 years in. And we're really focused on those primary things, bringing art into schools and into the hearts and minds of our youth. And then also, you know, the conservation effort. And we love partnering, you know, and collaborating with organizations like yours. You know, when we collaborate, that mastermind theory is so powerful. When you bring creative people together to come up with ideas, like your organization, like Ken, one of my heroes, I gave him the Wyland Icon, you know, award, along with the Dalai Lama got it, Pierce Brosnan, a lot of beautiful people. But what you're doing for coral, I mean, and I see that other organizations are doing it too, and that's what we want. You know, there's plenty of room out there for every community, every city, every country. All 7.5 billion people should be concerned about the health of our coral reefs. All of us.
Absolutely. And that's really what we're trying to do with Coralpalooza Digital this year is show the world that there are so many incredible people out there fighting this fight, you know, working on coral restoration projects and ocean conservation.
We need all of them. We need, you know,
absolutely,
to really make it happen. All 7.5 billion people on the planet need to be invested. And, you know, they don't have to do everything, but can you imagine if everybody did a little bit, how that really adds up? And plant a tree, plant a coral. I want to plant that in the hearts and minds of every person on the planet today. please.
So Wyland, we have to talk a little bit about the video of you that we can see playing here in the background. There you are painting an angelfish, doing a live painting. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this painting and about the angelfish?
Well, I paint what I see when I'm diving the oceans, and, I paint it in my mind's eye. So I really don't need to look at anything. I can actually have that image in my mind. That's why it's so critical for me to see beautiful living reefs, beautiful fish, great sharks, great whales. Because when I see that, I kind of can paint it in my mind's eye. And then when it comes time to get in front of a canvas, it just kind of spills out onto the canvas. And I have a television series called Wylands Art Studio on PBS. I hope you guys watch it. Bob Ross is still beating me in the ratings. The guy's been dead for 20 years. He's still beating me. So you guys need to watch more. But anyway, I'm going to do another series next year. But I think I did 78 shows. But this angelfish, this Queen Angel was for that series. And, people love to watch artists create. But when you have art and conservation together, art and the message, it can be very powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have hope for the coral reefs of the world, even though you've seen a lot of change
Sure.
in your lifetime? Do you have hope?
I do. I see a lot of hope. I'm a very hopeful person anyway. So yeah, I do. And my hope really is knowing that these young people coming up are smarter than we were about the environment, keeping plastic out of the ocean, and they really want to take action. So I'm really excited to see more people dive. And, I think when you see this, whether it's diving or through art or music or, in documentary films, you really have a connection to it. But there's no better connection than coming with you guys and actually planting a coral in the ocean realm, that will one day, continue the legacy and importance of our reefs and how much they mean, not only to the beautiful, reefs, to the fish, but to us. At the end of the day, if we don't have clean water and healthy oceans and coral reefs, we really don't have a quality of life for any of us. So I think that's the most important issue of our day, the health of the planet, and coral plays an important role.
Yeah, absolutely. Wyland, powerful, stirring words. Thank you again so much for being part of this World Oceans Day celebration.
You know what? Happy World Oceans Day. I want to shout out to Steve Creech, our president of the Wyland Foundation, and Dr. Sylvia Earle is our chief scientist, and all the people and partners like you. Thank you. Let's dive.
Thanks, Wyland.
Plant a coral.